I've always wanted to dip my toe back into the Star Trek universe in some way, shape, or form, and it was not typical way. And I always contemplated doing some sort of graphic novel or comic. And I honestly don't recall, it was a couple of years ago, I think I was approached by IDW to do a book. And I just happened to have an idea. I never really felt done with the Borg. They were my favorite villain. I did a lot of exploration of their kind of universe, starting with the invention of the Queen and really just how they work and how they think,
right?
What it's all about. And though some people might think they were overbaked, I never really felt finished with them at all. So I had one last story I wanted to do with them.
So in a nutshell, what is Hive? I mean, what is the scenario that you're developing, you're writing?
The scenario, is that the Borg have won. The story starts 500 years in the future. The Borg have assimilated the galaxy, and we're with Locutus, the king of the Borg, on this kind of wretched creature, this ancient guy who is realizing that maybe this isn't perfection, that perhaps individuality was perfection, and there's some small trace of Picard still left in this guy. And what happens is it's a story that takes place both 500 years from now and present day. Picard and the Enterprise's present day,
right?
And how indeed perhaps this all could be history could be altered, but it's not really time travel. It's more just a narrative jump, though the two stories will connect. But it's not time travel in the traditional sense of the word.
Right.
It does involve some time jumping, though. But I like to put little spins on how time travel is done. And it's really the final chapter in the Borg saga. I won't say who wins, though it starts with the Borg winning. But it's...
One's got to keep their fingers crossed that the good guys win, but okay, go ahead.
Well, it's safe to say that IDW probably wants to continue the next generation books.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun story. It's big. It could never be done on television.
Right.
It's too vast. And it's just really fun. No, in fact, I couldn't say that. This could have been done as a movie, I guess. But it's just a good story, and it's got I think a good use of the characters and some real surprises, and it deals with some really, I think, interesting issues that haven't been dealt with on Star Trek before, having to do with genocide. And is genocide ever justifiable, even if it's against the Borg?
Now that sounds like a Star Trek question. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's an issue that comes into play, like a couple issues down the line. It's not what it's all about, but it was just an issue I just felt we'd never explored.
Yeah.
And if you could wipe out a deadly species, would you? And what does that mean?